Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Sharmin Rahman, Associate Professor, Department of Anatomy, Adin Women's Medical College, Mongbazar, Dhaka. Today I'm going to discuss about bones of foot. So let's start. In the foot, the bones are tarsal bone, metatarsal bone, and the phalanges. The tarsal bones are the calcaneum, the talus, the navicular bone, the cuboid bone, and 3 cuneiform bones. This is calcaneum, this is talus, this is navicular bone, this is cuboid bone, and these are 3 cuneiform bone. This is lateral cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform, and medial cuneiform bone. And these 7 bones are collectively known as tarsal bone. And these 5 are metatarsal bone, and these 14 bones are known as phalanges. In this figure, we can see this is calcaneus, this is talus, this is navicular, this is cuboid bone, and these 3 are cuneiform bones. Now the calcaneum bone. The calcaneum is the largest bone of the foot and forms the prominence of the heel. It articulates above with the tarsal bone and forms the subtalar or talocalcaneal joint, and in front with the cuboid bone and form the cuboidocalcaneal joint. In this figure, we can see this is calcaneum, this is talus, and this is cuboid bone. The calcaneum bone has 6 surfaces: the anterior surface, posterior surface, superior surface, inferior surface, medial surface, and lateral surface. The anterior surface is small and forms the articular facet that articulates with the cuboid bone, and the posterior surface forms the prominence of the heel and gives attachment to the tendo-Achilles or tendocalcaneus or Achilles tendon. This is anterior surface of the calcaneal bone, where it can articulate with the cuboid bone, and this is the posterior surface, and here it gives attachment with the tendo-Achilles or tendocalcaneus. The superior surface is dominated by 2 articular facets for the talus, separated by a roughened groove known as sulcus calcaneus. The inferior surface has an anterior tubercle in the midline and a large medial and a smaller lateral tubercle at the junction of the inferior and posterior surfaces. This is the superior surface, where this talus bone articulates, and there is a groove that is known as sulcus calcaneus. And this is inferior surface, where we can see it is the anterior tubercle, it is the medial tubercle, and it is the lateral tubercle. The medial surface possesses a large shelf-like process termed the substanticulum tali, which assists in the support of the talus. And the lateral surface is almost flat. On its anterior part is a small elevation called the peroneal tubercle, which separates the tendons of the peroneus longus and the peroneus brevis muscles. This is the sustentaculum tali in the medial surface, and this is the peroneal tubercle in the lateral surface. These are the figure of calcaneal bone of different surfaces. Now, function of the calcaneum. It protrudes posteriorly and takes the weight of the body as the heel hits the ground when walking. There may be compression fractures of the calcaneum results from the fall from a height. The weight of the body drives the talus downward into the calcaneum, crushing it in such a way that it loses vertical height and becomes wider laterally. Now the talus bone. The talus articulates above at the ankle joint with the tibia and fibula, and below with the calcaneum that forms the subtalar joint, and in front with the navicular bone where it forms the talonavicular joint. And it possesses a head, a neck and a body. This is the talus bone, and in front it articulates with the navicular bone, and it has head, neck and body. The head of the talus is directed distally and has an oval convex articular surface for articulation with the navicular bone. The neck of the talus posterior to the head and is slightly narrowed. The body of the talus is cuboidal. Its superior surface articulates with the distal end of the tibia, and its lateral surface presents a triangular articular facet for articulation with the lateral malleolus of fibula. Its medial surface has a small comma-shaped articular facet and for articulation with the medial malleolus of the tibia, and the posterior surface is marked by two small tubercles. In the body of the talus, it is the lateral facet for articulation of the lateral malleolus of fibula. It is the medial facet in the medial surface where for articulate with the medial malleolus of tibia. In this figure, we can see the different surfaces of the body of the talus. Numerous ligaments are attached with the talus, but there are no muscle origin. That's why there is a high risk of avascular necrosis as the vascular supply is dependent on fascial structures. Fracture may occur at the neck or body of the talus. Neck fractures occur during violent dorsiflexion of the ankle joint, and the body of the talus can be fractured by jumping from a height. Now navicular bone. It is called so because it looks like a boat. The tuberosity of the navicular bone can be seen and felt on the medial border of the foot 1 inches or 2.5 centimeter in front and below the medial malleolus. It gives attachment to the main part of the tibialis posterior tendon. This is the navicular bone. Now cuboid bone. A deep groove on the inferior aspect of the cuboid bone loads the tendon of the peroneus longus muscle. Here the peroneus longus muscle attached with the cuboid bone. Now cuneiform bones. The three small wedge-shaped cuneiform bones articulate proximally with the navicular bone and distally with the first three metatarsal bones. Their wedge shape contributes greatly to the formation and maintenance of the transverse arch of the foot. Medial cuneiform bone gives attachment to the tibialis anterior and part of the tibialis posterior. In this figure, we can see the important attachment of the bones such as peroneus tertius, peroneus brevis, tendocalcaneus. Here we can see also the tibialis anterior muscle, tibialis posterior muscle and peroneus longus also. Now metatarsal bones and phalanges. The metatarsal bones and phalanges resemble to the metacarpal and phalanges of the hand, and each possesses a head distally, a shaft and a base proximally. The 5 metatarsals are numbered from the medial to the lateral side. These are metatarsal bones. It is counted from medial to lateral side, that is first, second, third, fourth and fifth. And each metatarsal bone has head in the distal part, this is shaft and this is base. The first metatarsal bone is large, strong and plays an important role in supporting the weight of the body. The head is grooved on its inferior aspect by the medial and lateral sesamoid bones in the tendons of the flexor hallucis brevis. The fifth metatarsal has a prominent tubercle on its base that can be easily palpated along the lateral border of the foot. The tubercle gives attachment to the peroneus brevis tendon, and each toe has 3 phalanges except the big toe, which possesses only 2. These are the phalanges. In the great toe, there are only 2 phalanges and other toes contains 3 phalanges. Fractures of the metatarsal bones. The base of the 5th metatarsal can be fractured during forced intervention of the foot, at which time the tendon of insertion of the peroneus brevis muscle pulls off the base of the metatarsal bone, and stress fracture of a metatarsal bone is common in joggers and in soldiers after long marches. It can also occur in nurses and hikers. Now, types of the bones. These all tarsal bones are short bone, and these metatarsal and phalanges are miniature long bone. and all the bones are ossified as intracartilaginous ossification. So that's all for today. Thank you. See you next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.